3 months ago, one of my client was getting very low amount of traffic on his website. Now their traffic has increased by 223%. From December to February 16, it has gone up by 223%. The crazy thing is all of these traffic are related to organic search directly from Google. All organic, no money spent on ads, and they didn't even do the SEO manually. I built this fully automated SEO writer that writes highly optimized blog posts for them and post it directly on different websites, which helped them increase their traffic by more than 223%. Organic traffic. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact system behind it, how you can copy the system. And don't worry, even if you are not technical and don't know how to use n8n, I'll be showing you how to use a free tool in order to create this system so that you could supercharge your website with more traffic using highly optimized SEO blog articles. Okay, let's first get started with this AI system. This is an AI system built in n8n, which is triggered from Telegram. So one message on Telegram writes and creates highly optimized SEO article for that particular brand. So the user who is using this system does the keyword research, does the topic research, goes through Reddit, goes through Quora, and finds out what topic or keyword are highly ranking on their niche industry. And they input the keyword on Telegram, and the entire system writes an SEO article. Let me show you how that works. Let me execute the workflow, and I have Telegram open. I'm going to give it a keyword. The keyword is why use AI receptionist. Okay, I'm going to give that keyword, and the Telegram message has been sent. The workflow has just started. The AI writer is writing. This system even takes voice note and transcribes that recording. If you want to give more than a paragraph input, you could just give it a voice command, and it's going to use that in order to write an article as well. So it takes a couple of minutes. Let's just wait a minute, and I'll show you what the result looks like. So the workflow has finished. Now let's check what kind of article it wrote. Go to Google Docs. Yes, this is exactly the article it wrote. Why your business needs an AI receptionist. It wrote a little bit of story, what it feels like in the real world after hours, peak rush, new leads, what an AI receptionist actually does, all the pointers. So it wrote an entire SEO article that can be posted on any website or your own blog in order to get leads in. You could just add this blog in one of your website or others website and add a link over here, add a link over here, so that whenever people come in into this blog and click that link, your website will be directed. So this is basically an example of how an SEO blog looks like, entirely written by just a keyword on Telegram. So this is the exact system that business used in order to generate 233% more organic traffic in their website, which ultimately resulted in their sale. Now this automation, what it does is it also generates an image, but we haven't actually used the image generated by the system itself, because it's better to have your own images and everything ready. But in case, sometimes even the AI generated image comes in handy. So let me show you how the system works and how we can build it. You can build it with me side by side. So the first thing that we're going to do is add a Telegram node. Telegram trigger on message. So every time a message is sent on Telegram, it's triggered. Let me do that. Let me execute that as well. Let me send a message. Let me just say hi. Okay, we got the message. Now we'll only be building for the text. Voice is also the same. You could input a voice, and you could download a voice using Telegram and transcribe it using ChatGPT. But on this build, we're just going to be using text. So after this, we're going to add an AI assistant. Let's open AI. We we're just going to message a model, and you need an OpenAI account. You need to have the API key for the OpenAI account. You put it in here, create new credentials, you keep the API key, and then you could use the OpenAI inside n8n. I already have my connected. So what I'm going to do is we have to write the prompt. So take a look at the prompt that I've given to this AI writer. I could change anything. So what I gave is analyze the following raw notes from the user. So it analyzes the raw notes and use this guideline to write a blog article. So it uses this guideline. So don't tell. Avoid simple statements like the man was stressed or the room was messy. Instead, describe action, reaction, and details that illustrate the very same scene, the quality. So I basically trained it to write in a storytelling style. But if you want to create something other than story writing, you can use a different guideline. You could tell it to write like a expert tech blog writer or an expert YouTube blog writer, anything. You could guide it to write it as anything. So basically, I've used this as a story writer because the brand that I work with kind of values a storytelling, and they use this exact system in order to generate traffic for their website. So basically, I've given some rules. I've given some examples. Instead of hot, write the sun, burn the skin, sweat soak through a shirt. Basic guidelines on how to write an article. And once it writes, it will output structured JSON in the following format. So output article, output a caption, and output a title. So we're just gonna copy this, and we're gonna prompt our AI agent like this. With GPT-4, yeah, that's the exact prompt we copied from above. We'll give it right here. So it should write based on the raw notes. So this is done. Now the most important part is an SEO formatter. So I've given it a guideline in order to format the article in a perfect SEO format. So how I did that, I just went to YouTube. I searched for SEO blog writing format and chose a good format for the SEO writer. Okay, I think I chose this. So I just open it. I copied the link. I went to Node GPT and I generated the transcript. I pasted it over here. I generated the transcript. And based on this transcript, I generated a guideline that I can give to any AIs. And I just used ChatGPT in order to generate the guideline and went there and pasted. So now this AI agent has and knows how to format the article. That's basically how I came up with the prompt. I just used ChatGPT in order to do that. Now I'm going to copy this as well. You could go through website and take a look at any video that you like that provides you good advice about writing a SEO blog article, and copy the transcript and paste it on ChatGPT and tell it to write a guideline. That's basically what I did. Now again, we're going to be adding OpenAI, message the model, use GPT-4, and give that in here. Okay, that's basically it. So we have an AI agent that writes based on the raw note that we provided. We just provided hi. It's going to write an article related to that topic. Okay, it wrote me an article. Now I could guide it to write anyway. Write a tech blog writer, write a like a expert book writer, write a fiction writer. I could train it to write like anything. Now it wrote the entire article. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass the entire article through this SEO formatter, who's gonna read through the article and write the blog based on the SEO format. Uses the keywords, puts headings, lists them out, and make it skimmable. See, now the SEO title is 7 Steps to Transform Boring Narration into Engaging Stories. That's the title. And people are going to click on it, people are going to read through it. And when you include links over there, then people visit your website. That's basically how the organic traffic was increased. Now we could use the image generator as well, but that's not much of a necessary thing. Even the business that I worked with, they don't use the image generator by this system that often, only sometimes. And now we could upload this on a Google Doc, or we could send it back via Telegram. But it's way easier to upload on a Google Doc so that user can go through it, look at it, include some links, and post it on the website they want. Send a text message. Text is this. Chat ID. Now you execute the step, and the entire article is sent on Telegram. So you could take a look. You could just copy this. You'd go to any website. You could paste it. You could include some links, and your SEO blog article is all set to go. So this is a simple basic version of the entire automation that you saw above without having the image. Now you could save this on a Google Docs. That's what I like to do, because once you save it on a Google Doc, you can go through it, understand it, maybe change a few lines, include some links, and post it on a website. Now we can even automate the posting part on the website, but I suggest it's better to go through it, review it, so that we understand what the article is about and what kind of links we can include. Research the keyword, input a topic on Telegram, train an AI to write like anything you want, anyone you want, a writer or a tech blog writer or a story writer, anyone. And train another AI agent in order to format that article based on SEO to optimize it for better ranking. Save it on Google Drive, Google Docs, check, update, and upload. That's as simple as that gets. Now, this system was built on n8n, and I have used this with one of business that has given a pretty good result. If you want such an AI SEO blog system for your business, you can always contact me. I'll leave the link in the description below. You could email me and we could work together. Another thing is, if you are not technical and you don't use n8n, you don't know how to connect nodes, you don't know how to train an AI agent, I have a simpler way for you to do the exact same thing that I just did here right now. And I'm going to show you that. Now we could do the exact same thing using Google Anti-Gravity without writing a single line of code. And even if you are not technical, you don't know how to code, you don't know how to connect nodes on n8n, you don't know what even like AI and how to use it, how to train it, then also you'll be able to build this for yourself. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be able to come up with a very good AI SEO blog writer. Let me show you how you can do that. So we are going to be using Google Anti-Gravity to do this. If you don't know what Google Anti-Gravity is, Google Anti-Gravity is a platform by Google that lets you build anything without writing a single line of code. You could just type in Google Anti-Gravity on any web browser and download it for Windows, or download for Mac if you have a Mac. Now, once you download, this is what the system is going to look like. You could just open up Agent Manager, use the default settings, and we could start prompting right here. So we are just going to prompt Google Anti-Gravity to build us one, the same thing that we built in n8n. So what I prompted is build a clean modern front-end web app using HTML, create a single page interface where user can input raw ideas, same as Telegram, notes or topic, and generate an SEO article. So I've just given it a layout, like design a minimalistic. I've given it headers. Title is AI SEO article generator. I've given it some basic words like target keyword, generate button. Basically, what I want the system to look like. I'm gonna building a front end using Google Android. It's just prompt. You just give it whatever you would like. Just think what do you like to the front end to be, what you would like the web page to be, and just give it that. Okay, now once we input what we want the front end to look like, and the gravity is gonna take some time. It's gonna test and create the entire project. We just gotta wait a couple of minutes. Let me wait and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this is what Google Anti-Gravity just created for me. So I could like type in what is AI automation, and like I could just press generate SEO article and it would generate an article. But we have yet to do some stuff. We still have to input some things over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the SEO formatter rule, the exact prompt that I wrote on an AI agent when creating one in the n8n. I'm going to go ahead and copy that and I'm going to paste it. So this is the exact rule that I used in order to format the SEO. Now what I'm going to tell it is use this format to write an article whenever generate article is pressed. So I just given it a bunch of rules that it needs to follow in order to write the article. Same as the way I trained an AI agent back in n8n. I just gave it a rules. I copied the entire rule and just gave it to Google Anti-Gravity so that this can use the exact guidelines that I provided in order to write an SEO article. Okay, it just did that. Now let's go take a look at the tool that we created that writes SEO article. Let's just refresh that. Okay, now we could type in why use AI receptionist, the same as the question that we put on the Telegram. So it also allows target keyword AI. Now it's going to use that keyword in order to write an article. Professional, definitely words it counts. Audience, local business owners. Now I'll press generate SEO article. Now it's going to use the exact same format that I gave in order to generate an article. Like, look at that. How to dominate AI reception and scale fast. This is way much better than the one that we used on n8n. It gives out everything, step 1, step 2, but it only wrote down just a little bit. We can again reprompt on Google Anti-Gravity to write a longer article. Let's do that again, as per the rule. Now let's type that again. So you might have to go back and forth on Google Anti-Gravity to like prompt it to give it a direction back and forth until and unless you get the perfect result. But if you start using this tool like this, then you don't even have to use anything. You don't have to be technical at all. You can just prompt it to do whatever you want it to do, and everything will be created. Just as you see, we just created an AI SEO generator. Now the same SEO generator that I built on n8n took me hours to build, took me time to build the logic, took me time to integrate into their business. But using Google Anti-Gravity, it's way much easier. Okay, that's perfect. Let's check that again. Let's just copy this and let's refresh this. Now let's paste it like AI receptionist. Tone is everything is good. Let's just generate SEO article. Okay, look at this article. It just used that format in order to generate an SEO article. Now this article can be pasted on any website in order to bring in traffic. Adding some links over here, adding some links, adding some links, and you could generate organic traffic using this exact system. So the one I built in anti-gravity is far more better than the one I built in anything. The only thing is that is automated. You can just type in message on Telegram and you'll have the article ready. But this you'll have to open it up, search it up, put it in, and copy it. But still, it gives you better. But you need to know how to prompt the AI agent in Google Anti-Gravity so it gives a perfect result. So whether you are a tech enthusiast who want to automate, you could use n8n workflow in order to do that. And even if you are not a tech enthusiast, you can always use Google Anti-Gravity to build one. So if you've learned something, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to work with me and help you integrate AI into your business, build awesome systems that generates you revenue, saves times, and a lot of other things, I'll leave an email in the description below. You can always email me and we could set up an AI strategy for your business.